Conversate for a few.
Welcome to the next episode of Conversate for a Few. I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. What we doing today, bro?
We talking about what does it mean for hip hop to have so much presence at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And that's a big topic to cover.
Yeah, never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Yeah.
Right?
Rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, big.
I'm glad you started this. I'm glad you started with that. Because that's a big line from Juicy.
Exactly.
Now he's saying that's 95.
Right.
Well, if he couldn't imagine how far hip hop would progress in that small amount of time, we're in 2022.
Nah. There's no way.
His mind would be absolutely blown.
Right. So what was that? 1995, 1994. Right.
Five, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say when he wrote it, it was what, 94, 93.
Yeah.
You could imagine when he wrote it was 94, 93. We just got to hear it in 95.
Yeah.
So what's that? How many years ago was that, bro? 30?
Yeah.
30 years ago. He was saying that then. Hip hop started in 79. So he thought it had grown. And
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
He thought it had made great progress.
Right. And it had.
But relatively, if he could see what's going on now,
man,
that's what I'm saying. He'd lose his mind.
Oh man, it's billionaires doing hip hop right now, bro. You know, matter of fact, his man is one of them.
Right.
So he would definitely be one of. But two of his mans is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Two of his mans is two of the what, 4 billionaires that we know for a fact in hip hop.
Right.
You know? So hip hop coming as far as it has it's beyond incredible, right? It's beyond incredible. We could talk about some of the milestones that we've seen that make us know that hip hop has grown leaps and bounds. The Up in Smoke tour, with them being able to take out hip hop acts and make that much money and do that many dates and it be purely hip hop. You know what I mean? That was the largest tour.
Yeah.
I mean, Outkast, then they won Record of the Year, Grammy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Huge.
Mm-hmm.
Big things have happened.
Jay-Z been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Big things, right? But none of these things, in my opinion, are in the fabric or woven into the fabric of what they call Americana.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Super Bowl, though, is definitely 100% the largest American event that exists. The single largest American event.
Yeah, not just sporting, but event.
Period.
Yearly event, yeah.
Period. It's the biggest event America throws every year. You get more views, more pageantry, more lead up, everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Legends are born Super Bowl weekend. At the game and on that stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it rained during Purple Rain during the Super Bowl halftime show for Prince. You know what I mean? Like Justin Timberlake pulled Janet Jackson's titty out at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like the Super Bowl is iconic.
Right.
And we saw the largest Super Bowl, largest hip hop act you gonna ever imagine seeing at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't anticipate it'll ever be a larger act than that at the Super Bowl. If it will, it'll be in another 30 years. Because what I'm saying is the people that graced the stage were so big. They were so iconic.
Yeah.
That
Let me ask you
it's
something.
hard to get. It's hard to get.
Before you finish, I'm gonna ask you something. this Super Bowl happened to be in LA, so it made sense for it to be Dre, right? Mm-hmm. The only hip hop artist you could have had in LA that was large enough to pull something like that off. You know what I mean? With enough gravitas and, you know, imagine the Super Bowl ends up in New Orleans. What artists are they gonna pull from the culture of New Orleans to perform on that stage that's got the gravitas? And it's gonna be Tunchi, buddy.
It's gonna be what?
It's gonna be Tunchi. It's gonna be Lil Tunchi. It's gonna be Wayne.
Yeah. Yes, that's of course I was gonna go Cash Money route.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be Wayne, bro. It's gonna be Wayne and it's gonna be Drake and it's gonna be Nicki. And they'll find somebody R&B to throw in there to make it make sense. Chris Brown or somebody. You know what I mean? They'll make it make sense. But because we in the position, and I'll tell you why I think that. Because of the position the NFL is in now. Like, they turned the corner. Jay-Z is over there now.
Yeah.
The only reason we got this one, it's astronomical to think that we got it, but I could see how we got here. You know what I mean? Like, I can see how we got here. Like, I didn't see us getting here. You know what I mean? By any means that I see us getting here. Like, things happened. And, you know what I mean? And people took advantage of things happening and put themselves in position to make this look the way it looks.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, if we'd have had this conversation 5 years ago, and it just so happened that Dre, which it wouldn't have happened 5 years ago, but it just so happened that Dre and the Aftermath camp, including Mary, were halftime at the Super Bowl, I would agree with you that we'll never see anything like this again. I would agree. But because of the situation that we're currently in, I can see it happening again.
So let me be clear. It'll happen again, right? In terms of a hip hop dominated halftime performance at the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Yeah. Because I think this just set a new precedence. But what I'm meaning is the star power that was there. It's gonna be very, I don't know, like, because you gotta find who's gonna be the artist as big as M, as big as Dre, you get like big as Mary, like you have to find
as big as Snoop.
As big as Snoop. Like these are like literally some of the biggest artists ever. So it's gonna be that's what I mean.
That's why the only two that popped in my head would be Drake and Lil Wayne. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Drake could definitely pull off a halftime show.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne is definitely famous enough. I don't know if he's popular enough in hip hop circles right now. Yeah. He's not hot enough in hip hop circles right now. But neither is Dre. Neither is 50. Neither is Eminem. When it comes to the Super Bowl, hot don't matter. Yeah. It's the legacy.
It's the legacy and star status. And they have huge star status.
Right. Wayne and Drake have that too. So I think they may be able to pull it off. It'd be hard to throw it. I don't know how you put 5 people up there, 6 people up there like Dre was able to do with his faction. But the lead-off hitters could definitely be Wayne and Drake.
I absolutely agree with you. But I'm gonna tell you, for it to go like that, to get four people with that level of star power, they're gonna have to do something other than just music. Because when you look at Dre, you think of multiple stuff, not just a Chronic album or Chronic 2000 album. You think of Beats by Dre. Yeah. When you look at 50, right? He's not hot in terms of, he's hot in the culture, but not hot in hip hop.
And not hot in music.
But he got all the power and all the spin-offs of power going. Mary
is the queen.
Right. Right.
And she's on power.
Episodes. Right. And then you have Kendrick. Now this is funny. Kendrick is just Kendrick. Yeah. He is still super relative right now. People are waiting for his album. Right. So it was perfect time. He really should drop his album on Friday, but I already know he's not. Right. And he just put out an artist and he just doing a separate situation now away from TDE, moving into a more exec role, right? And then Snoop, I mean, we don't even have to say
He on TV
he's
with
been
Martha
involved
Stewart.
in literally everything outside of music, literally.
Yep, the boy
You
on
know what I
TV with
mean?
Martha Stewart daily. I don't know how much bigger than that you get.
Right.
Like,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm just saying they have to, like, the way this was put together, it was put together based on what they contributed to hip hop. And so of course the presence of hip hop is there, but they're not only just doing hip hop, they're doing something greater.
Yeah.
Oh, and I left out M. Bro, we don't give M enough credit, not about his music, because I feel like personally he only made two good albums. That's me personally.
Okay.
But we don't give him enough for contributing beyond what he did. Do you understand what he's contributed to the culture? Bro, he's giving us Boogie. He signed Griselda.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
the
kept
people
it
that
100.
he gives us, the artists that he gives us are real, like,
Yeah.
real
Royce.
art.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He gives us hip hop. If he gonna give us music, it's really hip hop. We might not like everything he did, but he was involved with some real good hip hop throughout. You know what I mean? His legacy. He left some hip hop here for us, even if you didn't like his music.
Right. We can't deny what he did outside of himself to contribute to the culture. And
That's
to
a
keep
fact.
this thing going forward. So I think that I'm just looking at that everybody up there, right, that performed did something is connected to hip hop, but it's not just it's about their music, but then they actually had other stuff outside of their music as well going on. And so what I'm saying is, like, when I think of Drake, I don't know what he does outside of just music. I ain't talking about in the past what he did. We know he acts, but I mean,
well, I agree.
Well, anything that we like really, really know.
I agree. And those people that they had on the stage, I feel like were anomalies. And maybe they had to be because they were part of hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they had to have that much going on because they were part of hip hop. But most people that get on that stage don't have all those things going on outside hip hop. And they're not necessarily as hot as, you know what I mean? They're not hot in nothing else other than they're just legends. And that's how they get on the stage. Actually,
right now, are you talking about for just artists in general?
I'm just talking about artists in general.
That's been on, got it.
Super Bowl artists in general. Because what I did is I wanted to know, because I was like, because this is something that I do. I watch America's Games. It's a thing the NFL puts out, and they tell the story of pretty much every Super Bowl that's ever happened. And they have people that were in the Super Bowl, you know, kind of narrate along with it, you know, telling their parts of the story and what things that happened during the year. So I have a sense, even though I'm 46 and I've seen a lot of them in real life, I have a sense of how much the Super Bowl has changed up from like that the mid 80s to now even, right? Do you know that they didn't start having live performers at the Super Bowl until 88?
Yeah, that makes sense. In 88, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? And do you know who it was?
Because I remember seeing, I remember seeing the Super Bowl game when I was younger.
Yeah, but you don't remember caring about a halftime show.
And there was no music halftime performance.
That's right. It basically went to commercial. You just, and whatever was happening in your house was happening in your house. It wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? It wasn't a thing. The commercials became a thing in about the 90s, and the Super Bowl halftime show became a thing in the 90s. Okay,
so that what was that first official halftime performance? You know,
it was I got a list.
I know you do.
You know I do. 1988 was 88 grand pianos, Chubby Checker, and the Rockettes. Think about that. Think about. I don't know who 88 grand pianos is. I don't know who they are, but I just don't know. The Rockettes is pure Americana. Chubby Checker, do the twist is pure Americana. You know what I mean? You feel what they were trying to do?
Yep.
You see what I mean? Okay, so oddly enough, but I didn't write them all down, but what I did do is skip through and see when a hip hop artist popped up at the Super Bowl, because it happened a few times. There's never been a hip hop artist that headlined the Super Bowl, but we've been there before. The first hip hop artist to pop up at the Super Bowl was Queen Latifah.
What year?
1998. It was they did the Motown 40th anniversary. She was up there with Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, and Martha Reeves. I don't remember it. That was the year my daughter was born. So I have memories of that year, but I don't remember the Super Bowl from that year. I don't remember nothing but her being born, honestly. You know, like everything around that year revolves around Shay. But right. In 2001, there was more hip hop on the stage. They called it Kings of Rock and Pop. Oddly enough, ironically, Mary J. Blige was on the stage that night. Nelly, Aerosmith, NSYNC, and Britney Spears. Right? Okay. So to our point, they do throw somebody that's flaming hot and relevant at the time, sometimes on the stage, and sometimes, well, a couple times. Mary was hot still. Nelly was hot still. Britney Spears was, you know what I mean? The only people on there that were legends at the time already was Aerosmith. Right. The rest of that was kind of what was happening at the time. So it's like they were trying to feed both sides. We all remember when Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake was on there because the nipple slipped. Right? Do you remember who else was on the stage that night?
I don't.
Me neither. I didn't until I read it. Diddy, Nelly again, and Kid Rock. So 3 years later, Nelly was on the Super Bowl stage again. Do you know how hot Nelly was? Yeah. Do you know how hot in the streets Nelly was, bro? Nelly was at the Super Bowl twice within a 5-year span, bro. Yeah. What in the hell? That's crazy. But yeah, so we don't even remember Diddy being on the stage. We don't remember Nelly being on the stage. Don't remember Kid Rock being on the stage. Then it's 7 years before it happened again, and it's Black Eyed Peas, Usher, and Slash. I don't even know if I count Will I Am as hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Black Eyed Peas, yeah.
But I will say it's funny. I get what you're saying when you say Black Eyed Peas, like, because later Black Eyed Peas, but like Black Eyed Peas. You're right. In like 1998, I saw a video. It was straight hip hop. Straight hip hop.
It was probably over hip hop. It was probably too hip hop to be. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like, you're right. Black Eyed Peas. The essence of Black Eyed Peas is almost too hip hop. They were just mega talented. They was like, all right, so y'all want to accept this hip hop shit? We just gonna do pop music.
Yep, that's exactly how it went.
Yeah, that's how it went. Okay, all right. So the next year, Madonna was on stage, CeeLo Green, LMFAO, and Nicki Minaj.
What year is that?
2012.
Okay, all right.
So, to my point, if Nicki Minaj was on that stage in 2012, it's what? Shit, it's 22. I'm sure her legacy will allow her to be on the stage again, especially beside Drake and Wayne. Yeah, you see what I mean?
By that time, she will be super iconic. Yeah, and not just hot.
Because at this point she was just hot.
Right.
LMFAO only had one song that you know. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, and then it jumps from 2012 to 2019. And it's Maroon 5, Travis Scott, and Big Boy. Because that was in Atlanta. And then it jumps to 22. And we get an actual hip hop. So we got a taste of hip hop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times over a 30-year span. Over 30 years, we got a taste of hip hop 5 times at the Super Bowl before we got a headliner performance from hip hop.
Now, go back one more time. The first time that anyone ever appeared, any hip hop artist appeared, was
98.
was 98.
98. I'm not saying she did hip hop. I'm not saying she
No.
rapped. I'm saying there was a rapper
Right,
on
right.
the
She
stage.
appeared. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
98. Which is fairly early.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, which is fairly early. Well, I guess you would think not so much when
It
you,
is.
not
Not in terms of Super Bowl, but in terms of half show performances, because they didn't start doing it until 88. So within
Right.
10 years, so that's fairly early.
Well,
I think.
it's early. It's early in the life of Super Bowl performances.
Right,
But
that's what I
you
mean.
gotta imagine it's 3 years after we heard Biggie say never thought hip hop would take it this far.
Yeah.
So hip hop had come some way already. So the fact that it showed up in the Super Bowl, maybe not even somebody rapping, just a MC is on that stage.
Presence, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? In 98 might not be that crazy because in essence it hadn't gotten as far as he felt like it had.
Right.
Now we see how far, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote that down. I didn't know how it was gonna fit into the conversation. I hope I didn't bore the Few Tang Clan to death with the nerdiness,
that was vital information to help
it was.
contextualize the whole conversation around this year's performance.
Yeah. I mean, because if you don't know, because everybody went straight to that was the greatest ever, and then they argue Prince. Some people say nobody even said Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people was like Bruno Mars, and you know that kind of thing. But it's been happening since '88. We don't remember who we saw on that stage.
Yeah.
We remember the last 5-10 years tops.
Yeah.
Tops.
It's bad.
The great ones from the last 5-10 years. Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah.
That kind of thing. But yeah. One thing that it's with hip hop being a part of Americana, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter what anybody says, I don't care how you try to down it, what your opinion of the music is, what you think the quality of the music is, doesn't matter anymore because hip hop is on par with Paul McCartney and the Rolling Stones and Madonna and you know what I mean? Some of the most legendary artists that The Who, Dr. Dre, and Eminem and 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar is on par with them.
Mm-hmm.
When you start looking at accolades in American culture, even outside of hip hop culture, outside of music culture, when you start looking at accolades in American culture and where these people and where these things hold their place, like hip hop is there now.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And hip hop is when you look at what is the dominant force amongst culture in America, is hip hop.
Yeah.
And we talked about 1,000,000 times, which is funny because I've said 1,000,000 times how I went to Tar Heels baseball games and how in between innings and stuff like that they play hip hop, and there's these old retired white people out there playing like Travis Scott or something, and so I was just saying how hip hop is so ingrained literally everything in America. It's hard. It's hard for the section of America that will want to deny hip hop as being super Americana. It's hard for them to even deny that. So I feel like because we've talked about this before, but I feel like the Super Bowl put the icing on the cake for that argument.
Ooh. Yeah.
Sealed it. It sealed it. Now there's nothing you can do because the biggest event happening inside America, which people inside and outside of America view, they see the biggest event, the presence of hip hop is there.
That's
for
a fact.
The main performance of entertainment.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, you can't. It's undeniable.
It's funny you say that because I have written down here is that at the same time that hip hop is pop music or the most popular music on the planet, we on the largest stage that the U.S. has to offer.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the same time.
Mm-hmm. At the same time.
You know what I mean? Like
hip hop, the new pop, hip hop.
Yeah, Absolutely,
Hip
and
hop
this
music.
might not close the generation gap, right? You know, because most
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those
yeah,
artists that were
sure.
on the stage were legacy hip hop artists.
Hmm.
You know, the only artist on stage that wasn't legacy was Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
Uh,
but we already know.
right. I mean, you know what I mean. But I don't think it.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's gonna do anything to kind of close that gap.
right.
Um, but I think it would. I think it will show the generational power of hip hop, though. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying? It doesn't do anything, I think, to close the gap, but it does show the generational power. Like the young are running shit. It is the most popular music, and the legacy music,
Hmm.
is Americana.
Yeah.
So if you don't like what's happening now, you can expect for that shit that you don't like to be Americana in about 20 to 30 years. Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
coming.
yeah.
You said it because it's pop music now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Britney Spears and NSYNC now.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's equivalent to it. It might be
Yeah,
different context, but as far as sales and who's listening to it and who's going to the shows, that's what it is.
yeah.
You
That's what
know,
it
I
is.
don't know how many of our listeners and viewers live in the South, but I know you've seen these pickup trucks that's got the front end jacked up. These big ass pickup trucks that's got the front end
Yeah,
jacked up. That's looking like hot rods running the street. You'll pull
yeah,
up beside one of these, and you expect country music to be blaring out of the bad boy. And you getting 4-2 dub.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you getting straight up hip hop coming out of these trucks. They don't even know none of these white artists that's out right now. Don't seem like it because they don't. You don't never hear them playing
You
it.
you don't play them, right? Right. Yeah. Yo, I have a question. What do you feel? Um, what do you feel this performance meant for Dr. Dre as a producer? Because when was the last time you even seen him pop out?
Yeah,
Well, performance, I mean.
yeah. I mean, shit. The nigga even danced a little bit on the stage, man. Did you see the
Yeah,
nigga catch a boogie, man? I was like,
yeah,
yeah, did Dre dance? Yes, he did catch some choreography. Man, it meant everything, dog. You about to get a whole lot more work from Dr. Dre. I think it put a batter in his. Matter of fact, I don't know if you saw the Breakfast Club interview with Mary, but they working on the album.
right.
So I think it's really going to inspire him to build on his legacy because he could rest on his laurels right now if he wanted to.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think if it would I don't know how it wouldn't put a batter in his back. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't know, but man. And the crazy thing is, it's like I do know this. Uh, I guarantee you, he feels like Puff, Timberland, JD.
Hmm.
Ain't none of them can say nothing to him.
That's what I was getting at.
I guarantee
That's what I
you.
was getting to.
I guarantee you, he feel like better not nobody say nothing. Damn a verses, bro. I was just at the Super Bowl. You finna get
Right.
that in a verse. Somebody's gonna write that for Drake. I wish I would do a verses with one of you niggas. I was just at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Exactly.
ugh, ugh. You. I
Yeah.
mean,
No, I ain't put no album out and whatever. There's no performances, but I'm so great and my music is so legendary and classic. I just show up at the Super Bowl.
shit. Yeah, it just show up at the Super Bowl. It show up at the Super
And this
Bowl
and make it an event.
in front of a white SSL board. So I didn't show up as a rapper. The first time you see me at the Super Bowl was as a producer. That was that was the vision I gave you. That was, you see what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
first vision you got of me at the Super Bowl was as a producer. Then I stood up and grabbed the mic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then
Hmm.
Snoop came out.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yo, it's so much. Oh man. So mind you, this happens also. I just love leading connections. This happens on the hill. I'm talking about the Super Bowl performance.
Yeah.
Snoop being present, all these people present. This comes on the heels of Snoop acquiring Death Row Records.
This is the beauty of it, right? It comes on the heels of Snoop announcing.
Right.
He held that announcement.
Yeah, he held it.
He
yeah.
held it. This
They
was,
have been, and I did look further into it. He is controlling catalogs.
oh yeah,
Yeah, not the name, but he has. Yeah,
because I
yeah.
looked into it.
He's
I didn't
bought
find
the
that.
music. Yeah, the music too.
You said he bought the music back too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, now that's big.
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
Now, mind you, so I just got Suge Knight is in prison.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because if you know any of the, the stories, about how Suge Knight came with 20, 30 dudes
Yeah.
to Dre house and took stuff and masters out his house. So to me, it's just like a karmic comedy. Yeah, okay, so that happened. Now,
Yeah. All these years later.
Rolling, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
So it's funny though. Like you remember when we did the episode, and I don't know what the episode was called, but I know it was on our Instagram and it's been scrubbed now. But Snoop's Death Row's music was owned by the same company that owned Peppa Pig. E1.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I remember that.
So Snoop bought Death Row catalog back from E1 because it says he bought the name from Blackstone.
Right. And so then I was I was reading something and it was saying that, but he's also have taken back control of, and it was like a percentage, like of 70% of Death Row catalog or something, but he's supposed to be in negotiations to purchase the rest of it.
Wow, that's fire. That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
That's big. Now that's big.
Now, mind you, he had just talked about, remember, and I was so shocked and I was telling you this, I think he was on Gillian Wallow podcast talking about, I never made $1 off of
no, I think he was on Breakfast Club. I think he was on Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how he never made any money off any of that early music.
Yeah, he said he didn't make a dime off none of his music, is what he said at Death Row. None of it, not a dime. So I guess he's gonna figure out how to get his royalties now.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Well, that last album was definitely on Death Row. The album he put out last week.
Yeah. So Death Row,
yeah, that's dope. But yeah, I mean, it's they using this. I think all of them are gonna find a way to use this as a catapult to something. Mary and Dre working together, of course. Not that Kendrick needs it, but and like you said though, he ain't finna drop no music no time soon. But he might.
We gotta start talking top 5 stuff, man.
Wow, is that how you feel? He don't put out enough project?
Yeah, man. Look, I'm getting tired of it. It's enough is enough now. Enough is enough. And what I'm saying, or that's fine if you don't put out music, but when you only pop up and give us 1 or 2 verses a year, don't start off talking about smoking on top 5. Because like Jay can say it, and Jay got 1,000 great albums.
Yeah, no doubt.
To back it up. I just feel like we can't talk tougher than what we actually have for the people to examine and make the argument. It's like some of the arguments we have about who's the best and stuff like that. It's hard to even have if you don't have enough work to scrutinize.
Right. You see, that's the thing. Well, my only rebuttal to that is if when you make that statement, you talking all time.
What do you mean?
If you make the statement and I say I'm smoking on your top 5, right?
Right.
And you talking all time, right? I'm not talking about today. I'm not talking about dropping no verse in 2022. I'm talking about forever, nigga. Go lay my catalog against every other rapper you know.
Right. I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't have to drop again. I don't have to drop again. I see what you're saying, but I don't give a damn what you say.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, nigga, you don't got enough.
Fuck what you say. I don't have to drop again. I'm Kendrick. I done did what I had to do. I'm behind you.
You didn't.
I'm behind you.
You didn't.
Yeah, but I'm behind you, staring at you, telling you I did. Your walls say I did. You understand what I'm saying? That like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So from Kendrick's perspective, it's like, yo, you talking about Section 80, you talking about Good Kid, you talking about To Pimp a Butterfly, you talking about, damn, if I decide not to do this no more, fuck y'all, I'm top 5 tonight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, yeah. But see,
That's just devil's advocate.
No. I know. And then I would tell him personally.
Mm-hmm. You got
Bro,
like we would tell Andre 3000, you have to do more. Like we would tell,
you have to do more. And
so
the albums that you put out, some of them are great.
So why don't
but you
that
don't
apply
have
to
enough
Big?
great albums
What if
that
he asked
they
you?
were so great that you never need to do anything and you can be solidified.
What? So why don't that apply to Big then?
Because Big is a fucking monster. He's an animal. That's why. No. But no.
But you know what I mean, though. So I
do it though. I actually do apply it to Big, but I feel like that's the difference though. And I'm glad you brought up this because we're still talking about the same thing. But I do apply it to Big. That used to be my argument when everybody was saying Big was the best, and I was like, he only had 2 albums, and I used to be like, neither one of them was super stellar, but
yes, they were. But
the thing is with Big is, man, his rhyming was so great that it made it look easy, and so people thought that he wasn't as good as he was. Mm-hmm. Kendrick is great. And see, this is something I wanted to talk to you about. Kendrick is great, but you can see how good it is. Like, oh my God, you see how he said that? You won't say that with Big, but he's doing this something just as better or even crazier because they're able to do more with less.
Yeah, I get it.
It goes undetected.
I get it. I totally understand. I totally understand.
And you know what's crazy is someone I heard, I forgot who was on Drink Champs talking and saying, but they were saying like Jay don't list Jay-Z.
That's
they didn't think Papoose Jay-Z as lyrical. Bro, if anybody say that, they're lying or hating.
Or they probably not good at what they do, especially if they're MC. If you're an MC,
if you don't understand,
if you're an MC and you don't see that Jay-Z is good, a supreme lyricist, then you're probably not that good.
Yeah,
that's enough said on Papoose. That pretty much says, says it all on Papoose right there. Like, okay,
that's funny.
Check the source. You know what I mean? Like, so what? Like, it ain't not a relevant source. But that was a long ass aside, nigga.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a long ass aside. But hey, that's what we do. It's ConversateForAFew. It's a conversation. Like, it is what it is. One thing that I was happy to see, and I didn't think about it until tonight, is we've had several conversations about whether hip hop was losing its face. You know what I mean? Like, hip hop could easily be losing its face. We're at a place where we recognize and can point out ways. You can go to past episodes and hear pieces of the discussion. We can point out ways that we can see us losing grasp on the face of hip hop being something that we can control.
Right.
I think placing hip hop on that stage in front of that many people does something to not necessarily rectify it, but it stamps hip hop in a way that it had never been stamped before. Yeah. You know what I mean? For sure. Not that to the masses it still ain't at risk. I know it is. But that picture means something. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, people saw it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's there. Like, you're gonna have to, you could put Post Malone up there now and he could represent something similar to hip hop, but the Super Bowl already seen hip hop. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can put who else are the other people? Jake.
You could put Jake Paul on there, NF on there, and some people gonna understand that it's something, but it's seen hip hop already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, so I'm glad you made. That's a great point. That's a great point. That so yeah, I'm so it was very important. It was very important that happened, because had this not happened and NF came and stuff, that would have been the standard by which they think hip hop was. So I'm glad
it was necessary.
it was that way with official, authentic, real hip hop, what I mean, representatives.
Yep.
So people know what it is. The world know what it is. So fine, NF can come and whoever else, but we already know what it is.
That's a fact. And the world knows. The
Right.
world saw it. Like, it might decide to forget it, but damn if it didn't see it.
Yeah. So that was very important.
You know?
So if you want to, I would like to. So let's pivot this conversation into now. Who helped make that possible?
Yeah.
And how important that man is.
Yeah, well, in my humble opinion, there should be a ton of people out there eating crow right now. There should have been people with like their nachos, their beer, whatever assorted beverage they chose, and a plate full of crow. You know what I mean? While they was out there wild partying. You can fry it. I don't care. You ain't got to eat it with the feathers. You know what I mean? Make it as tasteful as you want, but it need to be crow. And you need to be eating it because you was giving Jay-Z shit about joining forces with the NFL. You know what I mean? Putting trash on this man's name. You know what I mean? Super capitalist, whatever. And he is, but you act like he wasn't putting himself in position to do something for you.
Right. And lying and misrepresenting his words. Sound like, because they said, Jay said that we beyond kneeling and this, that, and the other. But that wasn't even given with context.
We are beyond it. We did it. Now it's time to do something else.
Right.
It's time to stand. We kneeled. Now it's time to stand up and walk towards what it is that we're going to get.
Exactly. And we all don't have to fight in the same way. Maybe your platform is so small, the only way for you to protest and fight against it is some protest demonstration. But me, I'm a billionaire.
Right.
I can get in certain doors.
Right.
I can make stuff happen in other places that you can't.
Right.
So everybody has to respect everybody's contribution to the overall, objective that we're trying to get to.
Yep. That's how it should be.
It should be.
But people are short-sighted, bro.
Of course.
They don't understand that if we go into a brawl, right? They don't understand that I might grab 2 sets of brass knuckles and you might grab a pair of nunchucks. They upset. You ain't grab these brass knuckles, bro. They want you to fight just like they fight. You see what I'm saying? They don't even
absolutely.
It's retarded.
It is crazy.
It's retarded. Retarded is probably not the word. Retarded is a good word because it stunts growth. Like, I don't mean it's like...
Right.
Yeah. It's exactly what I mean.
Exactly.
It's a retarded for growth.
But what's funny is that we act like there's so hard of a concept for us to comprehend, right? That different people are going to fight in different ways, right?
Right.
But yet everybody understands whatever country they're living in, right? But particularly our people, we understand there's the ground, there's the army, there's the air force, there's the Navy on the water. Like, we understand it when it comes to that, but we don't understand how it comes to a political, social, or cultural fight. How everyone can be involved in the same goal but be fighting different.
Bro, even in this conversation, we talking about the Super Bowl. Simpler than that, they watch the game. The offense, there's people on the offense, everybody doing something different.
Yeah.
The linemen are not doing what the receivers are doing. The receiver's not doing what the tight end is doing. The tight end is not doing what the fullback is doing. The fullback's not doing what the running back is doing. They damn sure ain't doing what the quarterback is doing.
Right.
But they all necessary to move up the field.
Exactly. And so we gotta so this is another big move by a hip hop GOAT that's just further. I don't even know if he can cement himself anymore into the, you know what I mean, to hip hop and the culture more than he already has.
The fact that he was at the Super Bowl watching people perform that
The song,
would not have been there if he wasn't who he is, they wouldn't be out there. And they're performing a song that he wrote, and he's standing out there reciting. That was
that is
absolutely
crazy.
insane.
That is, yeah.
That's
now
dope.
you want to talk about everyone talk boss talk now. That's boss move.
That's boss move. You know what? I'd like to see a song I wrote perform at the Super Bowl.
Along with the most iconic artists that you can.
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see a song I wrote perform at the Super Bowl, but I don't have the means of making that happen. That man,
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd love to see it, but and I ain't even got to be out there getting sweaty performing it. I could be in the suite with my shades on and my beautiful wife reciting lyrics that I wrote, singing along. I can enjoy it like everybody else. Man, come on, yo. You tell me somebody greater than that at hip hop. I put it to you this way. Everybody that is, we ain't counting these young niggas that don't understand. You see what I'm saying? Like, people that's just gonna talk slick because they understand that Jay-Z occupies space that they would love to occupy. Your Futures and your Drakes. You see what I'm saying? We ain't even talk about them, even though they know it. Everybody that you would consider him a peer of understands what status he holds in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What stature where he is. He is Frank Sinatra. He is the whatever it is that you want to name it. Of the game, he's that. Like you said, I don't know what else the man would have to do, or what else he could do to cement that. Like,
yeah.
The only other thing he could do is he would really be on some wild shit and like have hip hop at the Super Bowl 2 or 3 years in a row.
yeah.
Where it becomes normal.
Which might be the case.
You know what I mean? Like, if he fuck around and normalize hip hop at the Super Bowl, that shit would be nuts.
Yeah, that would be.
Like,
And if it can be done, he's the person that can do it.
If it can be done, he's the person that can do it, and he's in position to pull it off. He's already in position to pull it off. It ain't like this is pie in the sky. Like, he can really make that shit happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I would like to have a conversation with some of the people that were partying, watching this Super Bowl halftime, but had foul stuff to say about Jay. Because didn't none of them pop up online. Didn't none of them pop up online saying, "Damn, I was wrong." Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, I ain't see this coming though. I ain't see none of that. I ain't see no J Love about, you know what I mean, him pulling this off. I saw J Love, but I think it's from people that was already showing him love because they knew what he was capable of.
Yeah.
I need people that was hating. I need to understand what they saying now. Like, what do they think about that power move that he made now? You know. But I will never hear from him. We'll never hear from him. You know what I mean? Like, we'll never know what they had to say.
This is just a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think Jay is dropping an album anytime in the next 2 years?
Man, I don't see nothing that makes me feel like he is. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times you could kind of see he moving. You see what I'm saying? Well, I don't know, but did we know he was moving when 444 came?
That's what I was gonna say. 444, we didn't.
Magna
and
Carta
really,
was
he
like,
don't gotta do nothing now.
Magna Carta was the last album we saw him moving before before it came. So I don't know. With that being said, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it would be about. You know what I mean?
I get that.
Like, I think the last 4 albums that we could count as J albums would be what? Watch the Throne, Magna Carta, 444, and what? Love Is Everything, or whatever the hell the album that was with him and Beyonce, the joint album.
Oh yeah.
They all kind of, you know, Magna Carta was themed. Watch the Throne was themed. God knows 444 was, and love is everything. I think is what it's called. Everything is love. One of the two. That's obviously was a theme. So I don't know what it would be about right now. But I hope.
Okay.
I hope. I know I have something down here. It was like it's something I thought was funny. You know how betting is so popular now. They had it so you could bet on how many songs would be performed during halftime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like how many songs they would how many songs you would hear. You know what I mean? You know, of course, they're not doing no whole songs, but how many songs would you actually hear during halftime? Some people were saying 7. I was just talking to my girl about it. She was like, I think it'll be 7. I was like, nah. It's going to be way more than 7. It's going to be between 12 and 15 songs. And I was like, yo, you got who? Dre, Snoop, M, Kendrick, and what? Dre, Snoop,
Kendrick,
and Mary.
M,
and Mary.
Mary.
You can't count 50 because you didn't know he was going to be there.
Right.
So you got 5 people.
We assumed, we didn't know.
Yeah, right. Well, I didn't even think about 50. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even give him a thought. But and honestly, like I said, I didn't get excited for the show. I got excited for what it meant.
Which makes sense.
You know what I mean? I got excited for the show once it was on.
Yeah.
But like leading up to it, I wasn't excited for it that it was going to happen. I was excited for what it meant about it. It was going, you know,
the implications.
The implications of it, the impact. But with it being 5 performers, I assumed they were going to do 2 songs each at least. And then some sort of medley, which would lead them to 12, 13, maybe 15 songs. 15 at the most. They did exactly 12 songs. You heard exactly 12 songs. I said, damn it, I should have bet some money. Yo, I would have hit that one.
I know.
I'd have hit the nail on the head. They did it. You heard exactly 12 pieces of music.
Wow.
Yep. Counting 50 and the little piece of Tupac that they played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They played a little piece of Tupac. They played 50's song, of course, because he wasn't expected to be there. And then they played a little piece of an Eminem song and then switched to another song. He didn't say a word over it. They just played a piece of music from it, then it switched. But you got to count it as 12 pieces of music. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought that was slick. I know next year, if that's God willing, I'm still around. That's a
Bet you willing?
What? Because I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I can count that math, especially if who is that on the stage? If I got any familiarity with that artist, yeah, I'm gonna place that bet. And I ain't even a bet. I put it to you this way: I'm not a gambling man. I will bet you. But if I bet you, you best believe I know the answer.
Right.
If I be like, bet me some money, you finna lose.
Yeah.
I ain't gambling. I'll bet you, but it ain't no gamble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, man, this was a. And you know what's dope though? That we had this whole conversation, man. We've been talking for an hour, and we hadn't talked about the performance at all.
I know.
That ain't what this was about, though.
Nah, it wasn't.
You know, it ain't really what it was about. We didn't even set out to talk about the performance. I think,
right.
You know,
and to be honest, don't matter.
Nah, it don't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
I enjoyed it. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying, what it meant, the imagery portrayed to America and the rest of the world, more important, don't even matter. What we personally feel about each act, don't matter.
Don't matter.
Because it was way bigger than the actual performance.
Way bigger than rap. Way bigger than hip hop. Way bigger than way bigger than the individual.
Right.
Yeah, that was wow. The pride. It's like, God knows. I hope they listen. I hope if they don't know what it actually means, if they don't know that fans of hip hop got it. You see what I'm saying? Because I can imagine being in that position and you not really realizing. You might understand it, but you can't imagine that the fans of the music understand what they just experienced. It's going to be far and few between of people that understand what it is they experience. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm being arrogant by saying that. But I don't think that the average person thinks about their entertainment. You know what I mean? They might think about it this way on Black History Month 10 years from now when somebody showed them a meme and they be like, oh, that was amazing. But today, I don't know that they realized that what they saw was history, hip hop history,
Right.
Black hip hop history. Yeah, like it might sound crazy to connect the two things, right? But similarly to the way when somebody asked you if you would ever think you see a black president.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If somebody had asked you 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, do you think you'll see an all hip hop Super Bowl halftime show? Niggas would be like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who? Who?
Yeah, that's true.
Who they gonna put on that stage? 20 years ago, 30 years ago this time, bro, Snoop was on trial for murder.
Right. So yeah.
50 got hit 9 times, fam. Eminem rapped about killing his mama. The fuck? Them niggas was just on stage at the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, like, I don't... Nobody saw this coming. This is very, very similar to seeing a black president, bro. It might not be as important, but...
Yeah.
It's just as far-fetched.
Right. Definitely is just as far-fetched. Yep.
I mean, so... Yeah, this is big. It's big. It's big.
You can't, I mean, biggest stage. So you can't get bigger. You can't get no bigger than that.
Nah, they did Madison Square Garden. That was legendary. Selling out Madison Square Garden in a day is legendary for hip hop. Yeah, we've seen it. You know what I mean? But the Super Bowl, bro. The Super Bowl. What? And they got on there and said their statements about the police.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They made their statements about the police. They picked the parts of the song that said what they had to say about the police. All them songs got several verses. They didn't have to say those.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't have to say those. So, it is what it is. I don't know, man. You think you got it all out?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we cover all of the main points that need to be covered for this event that took place.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's the things that were important to me. You know, I definitely got off my chest. I feel like the things that I don't know that everybody might have thought about that definitely crossed my mind. I just wanted to say and put on record so that if anybody hears it, it'll get them some perspective and hopefully they'll be like, you know what, damn, that's wild. You know what I mean? And I want that's what this show for. You know what I mean? We had the conversations around these things. Like, yeah, this is a current event, but like, I'm proud that we didn't talk about the performance and the fact that Mary fell out and the fact that, you know what I mean? Like, none of that. That's not what we here for, bro. You know what I mean? That's not what we here for. But yeah, with that being said, man, we want y'all to go to all the socials and follow us as Facebook, Instagram, at ConversateForAFew. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscription, hit the notification. Make sure when you watch the show, leave us some comments. I'm personally on YouTube talking to people in the comments. So, you know what I mean? And I do it from my personal account, so you know it's me. I don't even do it for the Conversate for a Few account. You know what I mean? So let's engage, man. Holla at your boy. If you go to Facebook, go to search Conversate for a Few extended podcast conversation. We on there having a couple dope conversations. You know what I mean? Go shop at 101 Boutique. Tell them what the address is, bro. You better at that than I am.
Oh man, you know the numbers.
It's damn. I don't even know. It's East Cabarrus Street. What is it? 1?
It is.
Is it 1 or is it 3? It's 3.
It is.
I think it's 3.
Oh man, I was about to say a whole different.
What number you about to say?
A whole different address. I know East Cabarrus. I thought it was a 3-digit address. Never mind. Don't mind me.
It is 301, ain't it? Is that what you was thinking?
Nah, I wasn't.
All right, I'm not even gonna butcher that. Watch this.
I was about to say 120, the 126 East Cabarrus.
Nah. I think it's 301 East Cabarrus, bro.
That's funny.
I'm almost certain. Hold on. See, this is what promo
We
is.
shall never forget again.
Nah, we shall never forget again. 101. That shit is 207. 207 East Cabarrus Street, bro. And the funny thing is, okay, I'm gonna tell you why this is, right? This is another aside. Like, if you watch this show and you not from Raleigh, right? Don't nobody in Raleigh know the names of no streets. I mean, we might could tell you it's on such and such street, but like, we don't do cross streets. We don't do the, you know what I mean? And if you're on the highway and I tell you what exit to get off, all right? So if you leaving Cary and you trying to get to Garner, what exit do you take? Off 40.
Oh, I already know you're going. I'm gonna say Person and Hammond. I'm
Exactly.
not gonna say it's 280. Whatever.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know that information. I'm gonna say South Saunders. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
South
whatever.
Saunders.
You feel me? Like it ain't gonna. But we don't.
And everybody know what that is.
We know what that is here in the South. So it ain't like knowing your number address is some northern. It's like it's more city. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like here, I tell you where it's at. 207 East Cabarrus don't mean shit to nobody. Cabarrus Street over there by Lincoln Theater. Do you know where Lincoln Theater is?
Yeah.
If you standing in front of Lincoln Theater and you look to the right, it's across
right
the block.
there.
It's right there.
Yeah.
You feel me? So for people that from out of town, it's at 207 East Cabarrus Street. For people that's from the R, it's by Lincoln Theater, off to the right, across the street.
Oh, it's some hood stuff.
Yeah, it's so hood. But you know, salute to the boys over there at 101, man.
Yeah. Shout out to 101.
Yeah, for sure. But with that being said, man, I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This was not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely was not. This is a podcast about hip hop. Make room for the tag.
Conversate for a few.
Hustle, welcome, man, they had to send me. Hustle from Raleigh, live from NC with your hosts, John and Alan. Relate to the two, you are now listening to Conversate for a Few. Check it on SoundCloud, debate with your crew. They talking hip-hop from the late to the new. From July till June end, no Fridays for me, tune in. Please listen to this podcast. 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 Please listen to this podcast.
Conversate for a few.